Hello everyone, I hope that you are doing well. Welcome to this very special video. During this video, I'm going to be interviewing one of my best students named Alessandro. How are you
Hey,
doing,
what's up, everyone?
Alessandro?
I'm doing perfect. What about you, Frank?
Glad to hear that. Doing good, man. Very excited to speak to you. Thank you for hopping on the meeting with me.
No problem,
I
man. It's
think
a
you have a
pleasure.
wonderful story, brother, and I'm really excited to dive into it. Could you tell me a bit about yourself?
Absolutely. What's up, everyone? My name is Alessandro Mariano. I am from Naples, Italy. I am 23 years old, and I stumbled upon Frank 1 or 2 years ago. I studied this free material, and as soon as I saw that he was doing a one-on-one mentorship, I had to take the leap because it was the best decision I have ever made in my life.
That's amazing to hear, man. It's very interesting to hear that you indeed begin with studying my public content on YouTube, and you mentioned in the past as well that that already got you to a great understanding of the markets, right?
Absolutely, yes. I started from probably where most people start. You start from ICT, then you probably eat all of ICT concept once you start getting into it, and then you start getting into all the other YouTubers, and you were one of the first. And I recognized myself a lot in how you spoke and how you behaved, and also the material that you taught was the one that I understood the best and is the one that I resonated with me the best. And so as soon as I saw that opportunity, I had to take the leap because I was not super consistent. I took banger trades, but my win rate was very low. And it was probably due to that pattern trading that everyone does. And since the probably the first 10 minutes of the one-on-one mentorship, my higher time frame became my strongest point. And from there, everything completely changed.
That's phenomenal to hear, man. So would you say that before you enrolled into the Matrix Unlocked, that you were trading in a very subjective manner, that you
I
were
was,
all over the place? Yeah.
yes.
That's a very common issue which I see in a lot of traders. And the reason why that is probably is because you didn't have any structure in place. Is that correct?
It is. It actually is. Matter of fact, one of the first things that you said to me, we opened up the charts. You said, "All right, show me your charts," and I was already on the 1 minute, and
Yeah.
you already started it in the wrong way because you don't
Yeah.
you go there only at a certain point, and you stay there for probably like 5% of the time. And
Mhm.
from there on, everything literally changed. And my higher time frame perspective became actually, I'm not joking, my strongest point from the first lesson onwards. And everything became so structured. I didn't have to do any guesswork anymore because my approach was defined before starting. So I didn't have to scramble and choose 10 different type of PD arrays. I knew what to wait for, and when it presented itself, I just executed.
Exactly. So would you say that right now, where you're currently at, you're no longer surprised by market swings?
Definitely not.
How crazy is that?
It's one of the most amazing feelings, and I wish that people can understand that and they can just literally put an alert and being wake up from it, and then you just wait for your signatures, and that's it. You just don't have any guesswork. You literally see SMRs forming before they do.
I think that's one of the most beautiful things about your journey as well. That when we started, you were indeed in a rush to do something. You were in a rush to go out there and simply take a trade based on that break or that fair value gap. I remember you were the classic pattern trading in that sense.
I
And now
was,
fast
I
forward
was.
about a year and look where you're at now, where all of the sudden that subjectivity is completely removed and it's fully objectified what you're looking for. And that's also why your trade frequency has drastically decreased, right? You're taking way less trades than you used to.
I am, and because I understood that with all the things that we have learned together, it's literally so easy to take a banger trade. And so you really start to appreciate when an A plus setup presents itself, and you understand that there are actually A plus setups, not like when you study some other theory and the guy who presents you this theory gives you 3 or 4 examples where you were like, all right, this is perfect, it makes absolute sense. But then you go in the charts and most of those signatures don't happen. It's just something way different. But when you
Yeah.
see that when we what we learn together is actually there every single day and every single session, you have no rush anymore. And I actually force myself to, at this point in my stage, to take maximum of 2 trades a week because I literally don't need anything else, and I emphasize on the trades that are higher probability.
Exactly. And when you mention that you're taking a maximum of 2 trades, right? What are you aiming for in a risk to reward for one trade? Is that a 1 to 2? Is that a 1 to 3? What are
Well,
those numbers that you're aiming for?
when I pyramid, it gets crazy. I'm able to pyramid, it absolutely gets crazy. But it's at least 1 to 3 plus. Like my
Yes.
TP1 is usually at around 1 to 3. And especially when I manage to catch the absolute bottom, and the low hanging fruit is around 1 to 3. And then if I manage to pyramid, things get a bit crazy, but usually my absolute last TP is 1 to 7, 1 to 6 is
Yeah.
when I absolute take the my highest probability setups. And yeah, so that's what you need. 2 trades a week with this risk to reward is 8 trades a month. I don't believe anyone else can be like, I need to do more. Of course, you will
Mhm.
push yourself to do more, but these are already crazy numbers if you think about it.
Yeah, of course. But would you say that by learning this full objective approach about viewing the markets and basically being able to anticipate things before they form, that it's now also easier to just say, okay, right now I'm not interested in trading. Right now I'm not interested in looking at the markets because you know, for example, your setup isn't there.
I do. I actually do, and it's one of the best feelings ever because it just gives me the opportunity to do something else. And with something else, I don't mean slacking around. I mean maybe looking at swings, which is something that I started to do and before I absolutely neglected. But right now, I actually look at swings at something that's extremely important. And having the knowledge that my setup will present itself just gives me opportunity on low probability sessions to just say, all right, I'm going to check directly in the PM session because I don't need to stress about it. For instance, yesterday I took a small trade because I identified not the best scenarios. I managed to get something around a 2.5R and for my TP1. And then I just decided to call it a day and focus on something else because I identified that markets weren't behaving as I wanted.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, at the end of the day, I just looked at the markets and they weren't doing what I wanted.
No, and that's of course a result of the current environment where we're in, where there's a lot of manual intervention taking place, a lot of announcements being thrown out there all of the sudden with regards to tariffs, etc. So it's a very interesting period in that sense. And in these periods, if you're able to just be content with enough, brother, that's all you need, right? But it's
Absolutely.
interesting that you mentioned swing trading because I'm curious. When you enrolled into TMU, you were a very short-term trader. You
I
just
was.
wanted to day trade. That was it. You just wanted to day trading. Don't speak to me about swing trading at all. But I'm curious that transition from day trading to swing trading. Yes, did a lot have to change about your protocol?
I mean, absolutely nothing, if we can say it like that, because I just do the same analysis I do. I just transpose it into a higher time frame. Nothing changes on what I look for and how I look for it and what I wait. Just the time frame gets bigger, so I have to wait a lot
Yeah,
longer. So the trades take a lot longer, but you come to a certain point on what we are doing that it would be crazy not to actually start taking swings
of
because
course.
it's always part of our analysis. You just have to take it a step further and you identify that ultimately swings are probably where you want to be because everyone day trades, I believe, for the rush, for the adrenaline rush, and because it just is probably the fastest way because you take more trades if you actually
Yeah.
can say that, even though I don't really agree 100% with that, because taking more trades doesn't equal to making more gains.
Mm-hmm.
But
Less is more.
yes, less is more. But
Mm-hmm.
when you identify that swings are perfect, they are perfect because
Exactly.
they don't need to. to be glued at the screen. I literally put an alert, then I put another alert if we go around my entry, and then I just leave it be. I randomly check it from day to day, and I also take around 1 to 2 swings a week right now, and 1 to 2 day trades a week. And this is where I'm balancing right now life, work, and trading.
So, with regards to what you mentioned of transitioning from day trading to swing trading, you mentioned that not a lot changed about your overall trading approach, right?
Yes.
Is that a result of you beginning to understand that these time and price cycles are fractal and that you can apply the same logic across all different time frames?
Absolutely, yes. And is one of the first things that I learned from you, even in the free things that you put out. But I probably neglected it, or I was like, all right, I am a day trader and I am just a day trader. But when you understand that actually everything that we are taught is absolutely fractal, there is actually it's literally a loss for you not to start looking at swings, because as I said before, they don't take a lot of time to analyze, and you just need to wake up a bit to check up when alerts go off. And so it's literally a major loss, because if you are able to day trade and if you are making money from day trading, then you can be making money with swing trading almost passively. Because
Exactly.
what I do is usually I take, with the approach we do, around 3 to 5 minutes to analyze a pair maximum. And I put my alerts, I see the correlated assets, and that's it. I just need to wait. So I invest 3 to 5 minutes for another setup. And I mean, it's one of the biggest risk to rewards, or time to rewards, there is right
Yeah.
out there right now.
From both a monetary perspective indeed, but also from a time perspective, because it saves a lot of time in that sense. But that's interesting to hear that you made that transition
Yes.
from okay day trading to swing trading. You're still day trading because you enjoy it and because you have the opportunity to do so, but focus is shifting towards swing trading. I'm curious, Alessandro, where does this drive come from? Where does this drive come from to just level up, level up, level up? Because it's not a given for everyone.
Well, my story is probably different from a lot of the ones that you hear out there, just because I'm not trying to give you the story of a guy who actually comes from nothing and struggle to eat, struggle to live. I actually am lucky that I am living in a very well, and we don't have any problems financially. Actually, my dad and my family owns a software business in which I also work. And since I was little, I have been given loads of opportunity that a lot of people unfortunately can't have. And so I understand that I come from a very gifted position, and I have been able to do a lot and a lot of experiences in my life, and I am so grateful for it. And so a lot of people that see me actually are like, why are you doing all of this extra work when you already have a successful business? And all of that comes from the fact that you can't just say that there is a business like trading. There is literally nothing that it's as scalable as trading. If I want to scale as quickly as I did with trading, but I have to do it with my company, it will take decades. Meanwhile, with trading, with the knowledge that you guys taught me and with all the tools that we have, it could literally take 2 months or 3 months of very good trades to rack up from one funded account all the way to 40 funded accounts and be managing millions of dollars. Yes, they are still prop money, so it is demo money, but at the end of the day, unless you get denied, the payouts are real. And so
Yeah.
there is nothing like trading and how fast you can achieve and how fast you can earn and learn about yourself also with trading. Matter of fact, a lot of things that we speak about is trading related, but then I try to find a correlation with also myself outside of trading, and I can say that I have just leveled up a ton in every aspect of my life.
That's phenomenal. So TME wasn't just purely, okay, learn how these high frequency trading algorithms move the markets constantly, how they reprice, but it also was bigger than that for you, where your whole perspective on life changed in that way. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes. When I speak to you and Jamie, every session we make, every message you guys send, every piece of content you guys put out gives me a new perspective. And especially when you guys maybe go a bit out of topic, start going a bit more personal when you share
Those long rants of mine.
those long rants of yours, which to me they are not really rants because I know there is a gem incoming. If it's personal or trading related, to me is still something extremely important because then everything falls into place, as we have said before privately. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just believe that with speaking with you, speaking with Jamie, and also with the other guys, which they are like-minded and they all want the same thing. They all want success and they all want to improve in every aspect of their life. And I've managed to make friends inside TMU, very close friends of, and which gave me other perspective about what we are doing. And also it when you guys are so alike, it's just so easy to connect and learn from each other. And matter of fact, the TMU group is just unbelievable. The people in there are one of the biggest perks of the whole program.
The network and the connections that you establish.
Absolutely, yeah. Because
How,
I
how,
actually see you and Jamie as an objective to reach, and every student tries to get to you guys, and we can just help each other, drag each other around. And it's just, I don't want to say a race because we are not racing, but it's just like seeing you and Jamie far ahead in the distance, which is not something I see it negatively. It's something that you do it even in the Olympics. There are people who just run a lot and then leave and go to the side because they need to carry the people that are in the back. And so I actually see you guys as an objective, and everyone else is just trying to go towards your level.
and you're getting close, man.
Well, you can also only say that, but you're still an unbelievable, and sometimes you just do things that are so insane, so insane.
Drawing lines are predicting the future.
Absolutely. Is
You,
your
you,
motto and your
you,
work.
it's it, man. You remember in April, everyone was super bearish. What were we looking for?
We
New
were
all-time
definitely not
highs.
bearish. Yeah. We were loading up and loading up and loading up.
Crazy, right?
Yes, it
But I
is.
think that's indeed one of the most beautiful elements which you spoke about is, of course, it's your personal development from a trading perspective, but also who you are as the operator of your protocol. So who you, Alessandro, as the person become. But next that, it's about that group, that community that you become a part of, where you get that like network, those people that you can basically I don't want to say like compete with, but it's like everyone is there to grow individually. But when you see someone further ahead and he's doing better than you, you're like, okay, I need to get there as well. It's
Yeah,
inspiring. And you can also
absolutely.
reach out to those people and ask them because they were in your shoes one day as well.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, I am it's almost been a year since I have been in the program. I have been in the shoes of the people that have joined recently, and I have had a lot of support from the people that were already inside from a while, and they have given me pieces and approaches that I maybe neglected. And then I came back to the sessions, and actually you guys told me that, but the amount of things that you speak and that you teach is unbelievable. So maybe once or twice you lose a piece around there, you take a loss, and actually someone in the group that has been there for a while gives you that insight that completely changes your approach, and you do that level up, and then another problem arises, another level up, and so on and so on
Exactly.
until you.
You're a good problem solver.
Yes, you have to be. You have to be if you want to learn this, because ultimately it's about finding the problem that is keeping you from being successful,
Hmm?
solving it, and then understanding that eventually there will be another problem that you need to identify and solve. up until you are consistent with your approach and you are content with the
Exactly.
result that you put out.
And I think that right there, Alessandro, what you just said is what's going to lead you to even more success in the future. You've already achieved a lot, brother, but I know your goals, I know your aspirations, and I truly believe that if you continue working this way, everyone will be looking at you one day as, damn, he really did that. And that's what I want you to keep in the back of your mind as always. If you had
Absolutely.
if you had to give the viewer one piece of advice, what would it be?
It would be not to quit. I see so many people that are quitting right now, and I believe that a lot of people approach trading after the whole COVID situation because they didn't know what to do. And so I believe a lot of the people that are in ICT right now are the people that back in COVID were doing nothing. And so they stumbled upon trading and they've probably been trying out for a couple of years and they probably jumped around like strategy to strategy. And if you have had the luck and the miracle of finding Frank, please don't quit. Do it for yourself and just keep on studying because the things that he teaches are there. The things that he teaches are unbelievable. And you just have to put the work. You just have to listen to every word he says because there are so many things that are hidden inside those words and it might sound like it's probably the simplest advice I can give you, but usually the simplest solutions are the one that work best. Just don't quit. Do the work you know that you have to do and don't quit.
I love that, man. I think that's a phenomenal way to end this interview with you, man. Honestly, thank you very much, Alessandro, for
Thank you
sharing
guys
your
for
story with
listening
the
and
viewer.
for you for allowing me to share my story.
You're welcome, brother. I'm looking very forward to seeing your story even more. If the audience wants to follow you, where can they follow your journey?
I have my Twitter and is Mariano MMXM, and I will probably start posting more content soon. I have been working in the background, improving and improving and improving. But one of the things that Frank also tells you is to exploit all of the opportunity that trading gives you. It's not just about making money from the trades itself. It would be stupid not to take even other opportunities. And one of them was probably to start putting out more content. And if you guys want to follow the content I put through, maybe give another perspective of the things he says, I will probably start posting more content soon. And big thanks to Frank for everything he does for us.